the application was not successful.
She was happy.
She was happy. She was relieved.
Oh, wow.
And shortly after, she broke up with the boyfriend.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, this is a wake-up call. This
She's happy, she's happy.
Yeah, she's happy.
Oh, yes.
Because she realized.
Hey, it's Hazelle.
It's Azura.
And I'm Germaine.
And welcome back to another episode of Clevities Podcast. Today we have a very special guest in the studio. Let's give it up for Singapore-born rapper, producer, and songwriter Alyph.
Thank you.
Hey,
Hello.
for y'all who don't know, he's a big dealer. In an hour on radio, right? I think at least 5-6 songs that we play in an hour is written by him.
No way.
Just by different artists, but it's all his.
You look at him. You look at him.
So tell us, Alyph, tell us more about yourself. All of us here at Hush Podcast, we want to know.
My name is Alyph. I love making music.
You can tell.
And I'm happy to be here with you girls. And, you know,
You're actually
that's
from
all,
Def
that's all about
Jam
me.
Southeast Asia, right?
Yeah, it's Def Jam Southeast Asia. That's right. Yeah.
And yeah, I just want to congratulate Alyph on a very, very successful, smashing single called Swipe.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, I can barely count from like 1 to 10 in Malay, but I can sing that song.
You can try. Try.
I try. Kalau aku like. Kalau tak, aku swipe.
I can tell the practice. And I appreciate it. Thank you. That was pretty smooth.
Thank you. What do you think about your song becoming such a successful hit?
Well, I'm definitely happy. You know, I'm very grateful. But I'm just trying not to like eat into it too much. You know, I'll just celebrate for a little bit. And
Can
then
I
we
just
get back.
answer for him? I think he's not faced because it happens all the time.
No, it's not like that. No. I do. You know, my heart is smiling. You know, for real, yeah. I cannot help it sometimes. But I do understand that music is something you give, right? So I have to constantly give, you know. So if they really like this one song, so, you know, I know I have more to give. So I cannot just like be comfortable for too long.
I really like what Alyph mentioned about like celebrating it for a while and then letting yourself get into it and then pulling yourself back out and focus on the next single or the next song, for example.
Yeah.
So today in this episode, we're actually going to talk about life decisions and life choices. All of us here, we have been in this industry for easily above 5 years. Jeremy, you have been in this industry for what, 7?
7 years. Yes.
7. Zura?
I guess like 5-6, but because I started like performing the violin pretty early, I started at 11, so I've seen quite a bit.
Long
I
time.
guess.
I'm not counting. Like I lost count.
Above a decade for
But,
sure for Alyph.
For sure, yeah.
For me, it's like 5.5 years in this industry.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And can I just ask a quick question to everyone here? Are we happy where we are right now?
Very.
If we were to be very honest.
In terms of career?
Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah, very, very grateful for,
And I look at
everything.
everyone behind the camera watching. Like you guys answer. Of course, yes.
Imagine if we said, no, this is shit.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah.
But no, happy, very grateful for, all the opportunities that have come our way and the fact that we get to talk to cool people like Alyph here.
Right. And I feel like it's a long way. It's been a long journey. Just even stepping into this industry, I don't know what was the case for you, Alyph, but for me at least, it was a very, very tough journey to even like be inside. So I cherish this experience a lot. I am really thankful to be here every day.
That's nice.
But if there were a life choice or a decision that you have made that you regret, what would it be, Alyph? Okay, I've seen some
Wow.
interviews of yours. You
Yeah.
mentioned that there's not a single thing you would
No
change
regret.
in your past. But
Yeah.
to
No
a certain
regrets.
extent,
No
I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's
Like,
true? You don't think I'm telling the truth?
No,
Okay.
everybody deep down in their hearts, I think there
Has
must be
some.
something that they
Really?
wish they had done differently.
As in, there are things that would have been nice if it was different.
Correct.
But I still wouldn't change it, because the wrong train takes you to the right place.
Oh, I like that.
Wow.
I like that.
We just like went deep,
Yeah.
like straight.
SMRT should adopt that. Yeah, so no
Nice.
regrets, Alyph.
Of course, like I wish some things wouldn't have happened. So many things actually. That made me feel a certain type of way and change my perspective on things. But ultimately, like you guys said, it landed me here. It allowed me to do songs like Swipe and all these other songs that I'm finna put out. So I have to be like thankful no matter what.
Nice. So when it comes to your life milestones, I'm sure that you have had a lot of milestones along the way. Do you think you take a more traditional or a non-conventional approach to that?
You mean like
Do you-
conservative or liberal?
Correct. Do you take the path that your parents or your fans,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
friends expect you to, or you go by your own way?
That's such a good question. Never been asked that. I never thought about that answer.
People
also
say
in
that.
my
That's
life,
such a
yeah.
good question when they don't know the answer. They think,
Yeah. When I need like a minute.
And you know, a lot of people say that they have never considered this because really they were brought up this way. They didn't even think that there would be another possibility of achieving your life milestones.
Well, you know what? My best friend, my mama, she's an educator. She was a vice principal. So the way she raised me was definitely, like go straight in your path, do well in school. Education is really important, and I really hold that until today. You know, like I really do think that education is important. That's like priority. But as I grew up and when I discovered music and I tried it, obviously she was extremely against it in the beginning. Because thinking about it also, you know, if I was talking to me then also I'd be like, you're quite siao, you're quite crazy. Like nobody would want to be doing that, right? At this point in time. So when I went ahead to do it and after I think I managed to convince her when she came to my shows and see the people react. That is a positive thing that I want to do, you know. So I guess from that, it kind of changed my perspective into thinking about like the milestones, like you were saying. It became more fluid. Like I started to just wing everything. But in the back of my mind, I still have that structure. So I still know what needs to be done milestone-wise, I guess. But on the forefront of it, the execution-wise is just wing it.
Nice.
maybe to your mom, right? Music was a unconventional career.
As
Maybe
to
she
a lot
felt
of
like,
parents,
oh, you know, this is not something that will earn you money or gain you merit. But after she saw it with her own eyes, and kudos to your hard work as well, then she became like, oh, actually, he's doing pretty well for himself.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask, at what age did you tell your mom that, hey, you know, I want to do music?
It never got to that. It was,
You never told her?
It was a gradual thing?
even for me, like I never knew when it became a career. Like it still feels like, are you like interviewing me for a hobby right now? Like it's pretty amazing, you know, because like my mom, when she was going to my shows and everything, I was still in the underground hip hop scene, so it was still very like raw and like everyone's just picture like a dirty club and like and like loud music and all that. I don't know, maybe she just had a feeling like I was really, really happy with what I was doing, and that the attention that I gave to music and performing was the same attention that I had given to like studies when she was guiding me, you know what I mean?
Right. I think I understand, you know, because it's very similar to my mother, of which where I think she was very conventional. So, you know, you study and everything, and I did that, right? But when I decided that I was not going to do any of that and I was going to do this, it took us some time to sort of like grapple with it. And because, you know, at the start, you never do well at the start. You struggle. You struggle. And I think eventually when she saw that I was doing okay, she sort of dropped it. And that was when she allowed herself to be proud of me. So for you, Alyph, for fans who know you now, they know your music now, but you know, they hop on the bandwagon when you're already big. For those who don't know what you went through before that, how hard was it at the start? Tell us about the struggles that you went through in making music a career.
Well, now that I think about it, it's like they were all struggles. But when I was going through it, I probably had a degree of being a little bit delusional in thinking like, yeah, this is the right thing.
The hustle,
I feel it. Exactly
what I
the
mean?
same way. Yeah.
I guess being in the entertainment industry, it is quite necessary to be less realistic and like just more, I don't know. It's not something that you can consciously become. It's not a mindset that you can just set yourself to. I guess the person needs to already be like that, you know, overly obsessive over something that probably doesn't make sense to anybody else. I guess the real struggle would be when was this gonna show you any results? Right. If I was suddenly like I had an awakening or something like back then, I guess that would be it. Often now looking back, it often looked like a series of just like endless chasing or like rather exploration of what I can do with my music and how that would have an effect on people and how I can give back to the people, you know. Everything else is just like good struggle.
Setting your mother aside, what about the expectations that some other people have of you? Say, your wife? What are some expectations that they have of you?
Nothing.
Really?
I guess we acknowledge our duties respectively, so there's nothing really much we expect from each other. Because jumping into this, we had already accepted who we are as individuals. Of course, she expects me to pick up my towel that's on the floor, you know.
But do you?
I don't. But other than that, personally, I still try to be like a better person every single day. You know, whether it is being a father or like a husband or like a performer or producer. So it's great when nothing much is expected from you. There's less pressure, so I can move at my own pace. As long as there's trust that you still want to grow.
But I do understand that you do a lot of traveling.
I do, yeah.
From Singapore to KL and then back again, or like even other places. Does your wife not expect you to spend a bit more time with her and your kids?
Yeah, in the initial stages, yes, but I'm grateful that our relationship happened before like anything got too crazy. So she witnessed how my life was coming up. So ultimately she accepted it already like prior. So when everything fell into place, one by one, it was all just a matter of like, okay, we know the ground rules, we know the structure, and we just built however it is. She knows that I'm not the kind of guy who's like I stay out and chill or whatever, or I have other plans or whatever. I'm work and then I'm straight home. Because I cannot wait to see them either. So
it's true. I've witnessed this.
Yeah.
If you see Alyph at a show or like something or whatever it is, you won't see him at the after party.
Right.
Well, but I enjoy after parties though. Don't get me wrong. Like I love them. It's just that certain times, I've, I guess, the practice in my life of like
balancing,
and like
life,
like
right?
finding, So I have the times where I have fun, or sometimes I feel like I just want to go.
I hear that. I mean, apart from the music side, I think in general in life, I mean, you got a great family, you got kids, you got a great support system. That part is quite a traditional route, right? I mean, none of us, the girls here, none of us have kids. And for the longest time, I thought that's what I wanted. A marriage, like apply for a BTO, have kids, go down that route.
The Singaporean route, basically.
Yes, but now that my brother has a kid, I realized that I'm more interested in borrowing the kid and then returning it than having my own kid. No, it's true.
Yeah, that's what I tell people.
It's a big responsibility that
They're
you don't
cuter
realize.
when they're borrowed.
Yeah,
When
they're
they're
cuter
not
when
yours.
they're borrowed. So then I realized, actually maybe I'm not looking for that kind of life instead.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, then what are your parents' expectations of you? Are they aligned with what you think right now, like not having a kid of your own?
Do you care?
Of course I care. They're my parents, right? They gave me life. But I think because I'm still youngish, I'm younger than my brother, and my brother's been through like the bulk of it. Like, he's been married, he's a kid and all that. So he's made the choices in his life already. So as the second child, they're a bit more lenient with me. They let me make my choices. Yeah, they say you're still young. But who knows, maybe when I hit that age, they start to bug me like, I want a grandkid and all that. You never know.
I don't know about you, but like these things, I feel you will never have the enough amount of time to be ready for things like these. These are things you don't actually plan. I don't know, but that's for me.
Like when it happens, it happens.
Yeah, I've seen these YouTube videos, like how much you need to have to get married
in Singapore.
Yeah, although that's something necessary. I think what is most necessary in terms of stuff like this that applies to life, right, is really intentions. It's like if you really love somebody and you really feel like you can spend your life with that person, if that is your intention, then marriage is not something to argue about or like discuss. It's just a thing that comes with it.
Yeah, and I also know in the Singaporean context, because we are raised this way, right? Find a partner, get a BTO together, and stuff like that. So I've actually also known of some friends who are doing this just because they are taught to do so. And in the end, they realize that, hey, this partner isn't someone that I want to be with for life.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I have a story about that.
Tell us.
One of my friends, I mean, there's a lot of pressure, right, to do things a certain way. Get married. Before you get married, just apply for a BTO because it's going to take 5-6 years. That's what
Now
they say.
7 maybe.
Yeah, I have a friend, she's about 22 years old, and her boyfriend is about my age, 27.
Okay.
So they had applied for a BTO because that was the right thing to do. It would take 5 years. By then, he'd be in his 30s, she'd be in her late 20s. So it makes sense.
Right.
The math makes sense. But then when she applied for the BTO, she realized that she had a lot of anxiety about the results.
Wow.
She actually didn't want it to be successful.
Wow.
Then that kind of gives you an inkling, right? That, hey, shit, this is not what I want. So when it came out and the application was not successful,
She was happy.
She was happy. She was relieved.
Oh, wow.
And shortly after, she broke up with the boyfriend.
Oh, no.
No.
This is a wake-up call at this
She's
whole
happy,
BT,
she's happy.
Yeah, she's happy.
Oh, yes.
Because she realized... Because she realized through this BTO application that she didn't actually want to marry the guy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
because of the societal pressure, she just went ahead with it, but then it kind of hit her like a wrecking ball.
I understand that.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully for her, that BTO didn't go through. And now putting this in the career perspective, many people go for high-paying jobs, but they don't enjoy what they do at all. 9 to 5 every day is a dread, and chances are, if the job is very high-paying, you have to put in OT hours.
Oh, for sure.
I have a friend who tells me that he wants to retire by 40 because he really can make that amount of money
Now.
by the time that he's 40 for him to retire like happily and peacefully. But can you imagine how much stress he's putting himself through these years?
Hey, it's almost like a trend, you know. This is not the first time I've heard this. Like a couple of people around me have also said, you know, like I'm giving this until like 40, 45, and then like I'm done.
Right.
I'm like, and then you're done, and then
Then what do you do?
Like, there's still like a good
what
40,
you
50
need to
years left.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I know that we were raised to sort of believe that you put in the work now and enjoy the fruits later.
Correct. Yeah.
But now it's also life, what?
Yeah.
You know what I
lor.
mean?
And like you can get tired of enjoying also, you know.
That's very true.
Like,
Of doing nothing.
Yeah, for real. Like everything can be settled, like bills and everything, but there's nothing for you to look forward to. That's not the way to live, I think.
Yeah, we also understand for some people the paycheck matters. They have a family to support, they have parents, they have kids.
Yeah.
So of course it makes a difference, right?
Yeah.
And then the difference it really is how much you struggle through your everyday life. And sometimes I feel like life is really more about just like checking things off your to-do list.
Yes, because she
You and your
actually has
to-do
a
list.
list.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how she
wow.
lives.
She,
You have a
she
list?
lives by her list.
I'm a very scheduled person, so
Oh,
I have
really?
like to-do lists and I must
I
check
bet
them
you
off.
you are on her to-do list today.
Oh wow.
Oh yes,
Chat with
After
Alyph.
this.
Done.
research about Alyph.
Oh, wow.
Homework. Learn how to sing swag.
Sorry, yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah. Dope. Nice.
But well, I also recognize that life is more than just to-do lists and like schedules every day, right? So Alyph, I just wanted to ask you, has there been a life milestone that you achieved that you actually did not want to?
Well, it's something really not serious. It's like being really good at Left 4 Dead. No, I'm just kidding. Other than that, you know, I don't think there's any milestone that I achieved that I wish I didn't hit.
I mean, every milestone's worth celebrating, though.
Yeah, even being a
L4D.
very good player
Yeah.
at like L4D.
Thanks.
But actually, our producer, one of our producers, which one?
Producer
So,
N.
Producer has always wanted to be a journalist since she was
Okay.
young. And in secondary school, you know, she wrote for her CCA's nationwide bi-monthly magazine.
Wow.
She wrote a blog, she took classes to improve her writing skills. And when she got a job at an award-winning news channel, she realized she actually didn't really like that job. She didn't really want it at all. Yeah.
But she worked so hard for this.
She thought it was a dream job and she chased it for so many years, but she was just going through the motions because I guess people told her, oh, you're a great writer, this is what you should pursue. And then she
Right.
thought, let me just go with the flow, right? And she realized this is not the flow I want.
Actually,
And then-
now I remember the milestone that I hit that I don't
Okay,
like.
wait.
Tell us.
Thank you for the example, you know. I respect that because that helped me a lot in my thinking process. So it was actually getting the course that I wanted, which was product industrial design.
Wow.
In,
Product
TP.
industrial design.
Yeah.
What does that do? Sorry.
Because I was taking D&T for my O levels.
Right.
So I did pretty well in that.
Okay.
And you know, everyone was gearing me towards joining this particular course, saying that, you know, I got the skills for it and I'll be really good at it. And then me thinking like, okay, I started making music already at the point of time. My mom was like, just take music or something. And I was like, no, I think I want to do this because like everyone's like, yeah, Alyph, yeah, you can draw, you can.
Yeah, people's expectations of you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I joined it, and I think the first year after, and a couple of friends dropped out. You know, thinking about it, they were actually more mature than I was, because they were like, it was not for me. Ciao.
Right.
And at the point of time, we were like, you know, like whack, bro. Like you're whack, you know, you're
You think
give
you
up
won because you
quitter.
held on, right?
Yeah, I just kept my ego to myself.
Okay.
And then I stayed on. I spent like 5 years in poly,
Oh my gosh.
5 years?
and they failed me in the end.
So it was not your path.
I failed FYP twice,
Oh
and
my
and I never
gosh.
failed throughout my whole poly life. You know, just you know, if you fail twice and then you're out, right?
Yeah.
So boom, 5 years, boom, I'm out.
Oh my god.
And
So
then
you
I'm
never
like-
got your diploma.
I never got my diploma.
After
no.
studying 5 years.
Yeah,
So if you had put your ego down in the first year and said like, hey, ciao, then you go and do music and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that would have been better for you?
might have been. It's just that I might not have the very very good friends that I have right now, because they came from that time. Probably that's why it took me 5 years, right?
No,
that's a reason. That's a reason.
Correct. There's a
Yeah.
reason why everything happens.
Yeah.
But you know, Alyph, you're such a successful character in many of your fans' eyes. You have an incredible career. You have a loving wife. You have 2 adorable children.
Thank you.
Is this enough for you? Are there any more milestones that you still think you want to achieve in your life?
Yeah, I just had this thought like a couple of weeks ago, I think. Like I'm actually good, you know. So that I used to like I want to go to LA. I want to go to I want to have a song with like Chris Brown. I want to perform at the what's that, Madison Square Garden and all that. Obviously now it's still a dream, you know. I still want it, you know. But I'd rather be friends with Chris Brown rather than have a song with him.
Right.
I think that's the difference now. You know, it's more of like understanding what actually makes me happy, and how I can harness that and not like put it into overkill.
That's nice to hear because I actually looked up like some articles online and this. Why you laugh?
She's serious.
Yo,
No,
are
I
you sure
just-
she's not also a producer? No?
She got receipts.
No, I really wanted to just share this with everybody on this topic about like making conscious life choices and decisions. So this article, the title is actually how to make sure that you are making the right choices for yourself. And there's 7 ways. The very first way is to be selfish.
Okay.
So this is very
That's
interesting,
true.
and it actually tallies with what Alyph was talking about just now. So you can't pinpoint exactly what you want in life if you're constantly sacrificing your own time and your own dreams for other people.
True.
That's right. You have to put yourself first. Ask yourself, if you were not tied down by your job, your family, your friends, or anything else, then what would you be doing right now? Do we have an answer to that? If you were not tied down by anything at all, what do
Sleeping
we
in my
want to
bed.
do? That's a great answer. I love that. Sleeping.
No, I mean, if honestly, this is what I want to do. That surprisingly, right? This is what I want to do. I would probably move overseas.
That's
Yeah, I would
amazing,
probably
yeah.
like migrate somewhere.
But like doing the same thing, just elsewhere,
Yeah,
or like-
something in the same industry maybe, or yeah. But
Right.
I might not be here. But because of my family, because of the nature of my job, I feel like I have to be here. So that's probably one thing. Yeah.
Okay. But that's a good thing, and we will be so supportive. Zura, what about you?
I feel like I am that person, and you already know this. Like, I take very little considerations of what people think.
That's very true.
It might be a bad thing, but I feel like at the end of the day, if I'm going to consider or think about what people are going to say, I'm going to have to pay for it because it's my life.
That's right.
And I'm going to have to bear the consequences of it. So I will not subject myself to that. And I will do whatever I want to.
So you are saying that you are already doing whatever you want to.
I feel like I am.
I feel like you are too.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So for me, if I didn't have like all these like work commitments, all these hours that I have to put into my career, I actually would like to be taking up a course,
in
design.
Oh,
Nice.
what kind of design?
Yeah.
More of like a graphic kind of design.
Oh, graphic design.
Yeah.
Okay.
Graphic design.
And it actually is hand in hand with my work as well.
Right.
Yes, and I think this is something that I've never actually studied. It would be cool to understand it a bit further.
You still have the opportunity too.
You still
I
can.
think so. Yeah. So I'm really thinking about like taking some time out my work schedule to just do this for myself. You know,
Oh.
just
That's
make
dope.
myself feel
Very
feel
good.
You
That's dope.
two look genuinely happy for me. And thank
we
you for
are.
that.
No, because she
eyes are
works like
shining.
24 hours a day.
Real.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Like,
if
sleep
you
lah,
if you
sleep.
truly want to do that, just try to find some balance. Sleep
Right.
is still the
Yeah.
most important thing. No
agree.
amount of like success or money can buy you health.
I think I'm already sleeping well. I try to give myself that space, right? When I cut off, like when it's bedtime, it is bedtime, it is rest.
Nice.
No, you texted me at like 2:40 a.m. last
That's
night.
before bedtime.
I was like, huh?
So 3 a.m. is bedtime. Yeah,
Okay,
and I
okay.
knocked out pretty well till like what 10ish. So yeah, but I see where you're coming from. Like sometimes when work gets too busy, the anxiety just gets to you.
Yeah, yeah. We got to find that balance and that compromise, I guess, with yourself. Also, you know, because it's always about. I mean, I've been in a position where I'm expected to do things. I've been in a position where you can do anything you want to do,
Correct.
and both are not great.
What do you mean? How is
Yeah.
doing whatever you want to do not great?
Both are not great because I think I know what I really want, but do I really have all the answers? Do I really think I know all that. I guess you got parents, you got generations for a reason. There has to be a certain level of guidance passed down, right? It's only a matter of to what degree you want to take in and to what degree you think it would be helpful for you. You know, zero guidance is dangerous.
Very
you
true.
know, so after having gone through both of those phases, I realized that, of course, I'm leaning more into I want to do what I want to do, but at the very same time, I will not totally disregard what is expected of me in certain areas. And a simple example would be, it will reflect in punctuality.
What do you mean by
in
that?
the smallest things.
Okay.
Like, if I really wanted to do what I wanted to do and live how I wanted to live, my punctuality was terrible. Like, you know, I would delay things, I would push things, postpone things.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to go out, I'll be that, you know. But if I realize that there is certain importance in respecting other people's schedules and what they have to do, and just make the effort to be better and go. Only after that, then I realized, I'm glad I didn't miss out.
Right.
So basically, it's not like, oh, you live life however you want. You can just no rules and do whatever you
Yeah.
want. There are still some things that you have to respect.
Yeah.
But in terms of your career,
Yeah.
you seek advice from people around you as well. Don't just think that, oh, I know best and then I
For
just
sure, yeah.
go and do whatever I want.
But respectfully, when people are in that mindset, right, of I want to do everything myself, there's no telling them otherwise.
Yeah.
Correct.
True.
So I also believe that people can never change people
Of course, yeah.
unless
You
they
can-
are ready to be changed.
Right.
Yeah.
You can offer your advice, but whether the other party takes it or not is
For
not
sure.
up to you.
up to them, yeah.
And
I think when
I think I think 9 times out of 10, when we offer advice, it's not something somebody wants to take.
Right.
Yes.
Very true.
I was gonna say, when you offer advice, you gotta be ready for them to not listen.
Yeah.
And we spoke about this.
Yes.
Right. And don't feel offended when they don't listen to you because
Yeah.
it's out of your control, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like today's episode was very enlightening and insightful for listeners of Hush Podcast. You know, maybe you are at a life crossroads. You don't know which direction to go, what path to take. I think what Alyph shared is so important. Just wing it. You know, some direction is good. All or no direction at all can actually be very dangerous.
Definitely. I think, trust the people around you, trust your support system that tell you and give you good advice. But at the end of the day, put your ego down, right? Like he
Yes.
said,
Don't spend 5 years in poly.
5 years in product industrial design. If you already know in the first year that this is not quite what it is for
Actually
you,
looking like,
drop it, let it go. Swipe.
Yeah, swipe. All right, Alyph, any last words for our listeners here at Hush Podcast?
listen to Hush.
No,
Thanks.
Listen,
I mean,
swipe.
Tune in and stream swipe. I appreciate it. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
All right, with that, thank you so much, Alyph, for being here with us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and all of you listening to us or watching us, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at itsclarity.co.
That's right. You can listen to us on Spotify, Me Listen, Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to turn on your notification bells.
And also catch us on YouTube if you want to see Alyph's cool sunglasses. Like,
Woo!
isn't that bright in here? It's quite a...
No, it's your futures. So I'm just like, wow.
Alrighty, once again, I'm Hazelle,
I'm Azura.
I'm Germaine.
and we'll catch you next time. Bye! Thank
Bye.
you, Alyph!
Bye.
I played L4D till I vomit.
Oh my
Really?
gosh, like literally
like Boomer?
vomit.
Like that?
No lah, not like Boomer. But like when you play so much, then you, in the land shop, then you
Yeah.
can vomit.
Oh my God, for real?
That was me.
Wow.
Who are you? Huh? I'm the tank.
Power. Oh, nice.